Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Scheer Perspective. I am your host, Trevor Scheer, and I am pretty fuming here right now over this topic we're going to discuss right now. UFC 151 has been canceled. Now, that's not the reason I'm fuming. Obviously, if you don't know the story, Dan Henderson got injured. He has a partially torn MCL, which means he could compete, but not quite at 100%, not even close. And he didn't want to risk that going in there against Jon Jones, who is the light heavyweight champion. That is the main event of the card. That was the main event that was supposed to be in the card. Henderson gets hurt 8 days before the fight. That's understandable. So you're going to call, when you need a replacement, you're going to call Chael Sonnen, because Chael Sonnen will fight anybody at any time, anywhere. It doesn't matter. He just likes to fight. And you got to love and respect a fighter like that, who will get in there, who will scrap with anyone, you know, in order to, you know, help out the UFC or make some money or whatever. He'll go in there on short notice against, I think, probably anyone. If they told him, hey, you want to fight Dos Santos for the title, he'd probably take it. He'd probably do that fight. So they had it all set up. It was going to be Sonnen versus Jones for the title, which I would have been ecstatically happy about. That's a huge matchup that I really want to see. I'm a huge Chael Sonnen mark, and I would have really wanted to see that. Whether he won or lost, I don't know. It's a good question there. But I would have loved to see that fight. And the big problem was Jon Jones refused to fight Chael Sonnen. Why the fuck are you refusing to fight Chael Sonnen? He's like, oh, I don't want to fight on 8 days' notice. Chael Sonnen is basically Dan Henderson without the big left hook. That's basically what he is. He doesn't have the power punch. He's the same exact type of guy. He's the grappler, he's the wrestler that'll take you down to the ground and try to ground and pound you out for 5 rounds. That's already what you were training for. And the funny thing is, now he's going to have an extra 3 weeks to train, because the next show they're going to do is September 22nd. This one's going to be September 1st. That's 21 days. That's 3 weeks to train for Lyoto Machida. An extremely different fighter. He's a karate guy, so you're training, you're bringing in a totally different game plan for a different fighter, when you could have just fought Chael Sonnen, who's probably a worse version of Dan Henderson. I don't get why, I don't get what the fuck is wrong with Jon Jones. I don't know why he's backing off of this. This is just plain, it's stupid. It's really dumb. It's incredibly dumb. If people can say, oh, well, Sonnen had everything to prove, and Jones had, you know, everything to lose there. Well, Jon Jones and Chael Sonnen have been in a war of words at Twitter. They've been going back and forth. They've been ranting on each other back and forth, making fun of each other, poking jabs at each other the whole time. Why not get in the octagon and settle it? I mean, it honestly seems like you already have a problem with Chael Sonnen. Why not shut him up right away when you get your first opportunity to? They were going to throw him to him. They were going to feed him to you. You had a chance to shut him up on his entry into the light heavyweight division. This thing, he's a middleweight. He's a 185-pounder. He hasn't had a lightweight fight yet in who knows how long. He's been fighting middleweight since he's been in the UFC, I believe. He used to be, I know he used to fight light heavyweight a couple of times, but he's not usually a light heavyweight fighter. He just lost Anderson Silva at middleweight. I mean, he's going to be the one who has to pack on the 20 pounds, has to get back in ring shape. He's been, you know, waiting off until the fight Forrest Griffin at UFC 155, which is in December, which is probably going to change now to 154. You know, the whole thing is, Jon Jones ruined this entire card. He ruined the entirety of it. They had to cancel it. This is the first time UFC has ever had to cancel a pay-per-view card. It's the first time it's ever happened in 11 years, all because Jon Jones wouldn't fight Chael Sonnen, who is basically a carbon copy of Dan Henderson without the strong punch. So he's a lesser version of Dan Henderson, and you're acting like, oh, the caliber of this opponent, we couldn't have took him on right now. He's the same guy. It's the same fucking guy, basically. And the story would wrote itself. You talk about Lyoto Machida doing low buy rates with him, you would have done a lot better with Chael Sonnen. You probably would have done better with Chael Sonnen than Dan Henderson, because Chael Sonnen and you have been talking up, have been beefing, have been, you know, smack talking each other the whole entire time. You could have built this into something huge, and the story could have been Chael Sonnen, Dan Henderson's really good friend, coming in to step in, take his place, try to take the title off of you. That could have done buy rates, Jon Jones. That could have made you money. You talk about buy rates. That would have made you money. Chael Sonnen can make you some money if you do business with him, if you fight him. But obviously, you're a fucking pussy. That's the whole point of this. Jon Jones is a motherfucking pussy. He's scared of Chael Sonnen. He obviously is that, or Greg Jackson was scared of Chael Sonnen. One or the other. This is fucking bullshit. It really is. If I was Dana White, I would strip Jon Jones of the light heavyweight title right now, probably. I'd probably be even more heated on this if I wasn't so tired. I probably would be ranting even longer, but you know, it's so dumb and beyond stupid that it's just like, you know, there's no point in even talking about it. It's a fight I would have really wanted to see. It's a fight I think a lot of people would have wanted to see, and I really wanted to see Dan Henderson, Jon Jones, and I think I would have wanted to see Chael Sonnen versus Jon Jones twice as much. You know, I mean, it's a sad thing when people just back down on fights. You know, you're the champion. You're not supposed to back down. You're supposed to be one of the top 3 fighters in the world, along with GSP and Anderson Silva, and you're backing down from Chael Sonnen, a guy who's moving up to middleweight. And another interesting little tidbit is Chris Weidman supposedly wanted to throw his name in there too, which I think that guy, I honestly do think that guy is full of himself. I mean, that guy needs even more attention than Sonnen does. But that's my opinion on it. Jon Jones is a pussy. You know, war Chael Sonnen. That's all I got to say about this, though. It's kind of a terrible thing to happen to the UFC now, because they're going to lose a lot of money on this. They're going to have to refund a lot of money. And fans that have probably already made trips to come in, because a lot of fans come into Las Vegas because it's in, you know, this fight was going to be at Mandalay Bay Center. All these fans are losing out too. They've got to refund their whole trip. They've got to refund their whole plane tickets. I mean, Jon Jones basically screwed everyone. He basically screwed everyone in this. I know Joe Rogan's comedy show got shut down now because of it too, but, you know, basically, fuck you, Jon Jones.